Alright, so today we will be doing the discussion 12, Identity Part 1 in Intro2Philosphy. We will be doing Prompt 2. Locke says that accountability extends exactly as far as sameness of consciousness or memory. So if you irretrievably could no longer remember something, it wasn't really you who did it, and you cannot be held accountable for it. Examples are drunkenness. Locke says that, strictly speaking, this analysis also applies to things people did when they were blackout drunk and later have no memory of what they did. The fact that you are not conscious of what you did while drunk means that it wasn't really you. However, as a practical matter, says Locke, it is not admissible in court because we can prove that a particular human did something, but we cannot prove that they have memory of it. Okay, so without really getting into the weeds of the question, I think that I understand the spirit of A here, of the drunkenness argument. In terms of accountability, when it comes to the state of drunkenness specifically, the fact that you made the choice to start drinking and get drunk, that was a conscious decision you did make and likely do remember making, then you are thereby responsible for the decisions made while drunk, whether or not you remember them or not. Now, I do not believe that you are responsible for the things you do when you are drugged against your knowledge and or consent. I don't believe you're responsible then. So I think there's an argument there, right? Like, if I did not knowingly or consensually take ketamine, which is a common date rape drug, then anything that I do while on the drug isn't really my fault. It is the person who put that drug in my drink, who is to be blamed for my actions while I'm on ketamine. So if I go out and hurt someone while impaired on something that someone else did to me, then I feel it is that person who becomes liable. And alright, so the next thing is about things like amnesia. Amnesia. Say a human has amnesia, severe loss of memory, for some medical reason, dementia, stroke, head injury, etc., and cannot remember any of the events relating to a crime that human has committed. Sounds weird to say human instead of person here. Should that human be held accountable for the earlier criminal actions? Ooh, that's a fun one. Cool. Alright, so I would say this is a yes and no scenario. It depends. Alright, so let's say that the activity at the end of the day had no real victim, right? Nobody was actually harmed. The person is not currently living with any benefit of the criminal activity. Then no, probably not. Probably not that big of a deal to go ahead and let it go. They don't remember the event. Nobody was hurt. Nothing bad happened to somebody. Right? There was no victim. Now, in the case of victimhood, right? In case there is a victim, then I believe that they should be fully assessed, and determined whether or not they can actually be held accountable in court. Because if they're suffering from something like dementia or severe head injury that caused amnesia, something like that, then you would have to, there's a possibility that they can't be held liable because they have no they probably have no real cognitive function at that point anyways, or a very limited cognitive function, and probably need very special care. Now, if they are still an operable human being who just happens to have no memory of the specific event, but still otherwise operates in their normal day to day with no special care or treatment, then they might be able to be held liable and accountable to the situation. Um, like just because you forget you did something wrong doesn't mean you didn't do the bad thing. It so like how far gone is the person? I think is the determining question for legal accountability and also like moralistic accountability. Like if I was victimized by someone, right, and then when I could finally see my day with them, they're barely there as a human being, right? Like they're hardly articulable. They need some sort of special care. I don't need to throw that person in prison. They're already suffering. That's just again my personal belief on the situation. So y'all have a great night. Thank you for listening to my talk.